Chapter 36, Episode 9, Part 3. It was at this point that Ms. Fairlefathen decided to reactivate her hard light projection. Without the kind of flashlight she used before, I watched her shift from Leviathan to Miss Fair. Once she was back in teacher mode, she straightened herself out and smoothed out wrinkles in her outfit that all of us knew weren't there. Yeah, after listening to the fight between my dad and Leviathan, I decided that there was too much detail in the story for it to be made up. It didn't hurt that everyone was backing each other up and filling in holes when one knew things the others didn't. Other aspects of this whole situation hurt, but I thought we'd take care of that later on, whenever Miss Fair wasn't around. She got herself mid-soothing and looked at us with little embarrassment. Sorry, I'm used to wearing actual clothes. You guys called me over in such a hurry, so I didn't have a chance to get something on. She cleared her throat. Anyway, that's pretty much the story of how your mother and father kidnapped me and how me against my will. Tortured my poor soul to Charlie told me Mom wasn't happy with the way Leviathan was making things sound. Something in the form of a cup that bounced off of her head. What was that for? To make it sound like we were the bad guys. When you're on one side of the battle line, everyone on the other side is a bad guy. Great. Didn't need to hear that. For my first two battles, I just thought the metaphors I was fighting as Mavericks. So, Miss Fair? She wiped me off. It's fine to call me by my name when it's just us, Iris. At this point, she let yet another groan onto her face. That is, of course, unless you would prefer me to call you Zero every time I need to speak to you. If it weren't for the fact that she caught me off guard with that comment, I would have made a mental note on how strange it was that her speaking habits changed whenever she went from Miss Fair to Fairy Leviathan and back. It was probably because of the fact that she was in disguise. But what? Master Hacker, remember? She acts like it was nothing in the world. It's enough for me to be able to access any cameras or computers to find anything I wanted to about anyone in the world. Just don't expect me to help you with your American contacts or your homework. I can't get enough trouble as it is now that hacking is actively pursued by the police. That and you won't learn anything by letting other people do the work for you. But if hacking is supposed to be illegal, then how do you know who I am? The grin grew. Oh, believe me, I have my ways. By ways? That's it. She means that we told her the other day. Zero! Miss Fair crossed her arms and huffed. I get it a little bit. It was so odd to see the people I'd read about acting like kids. Teens even, with each other. In front of me. There were times while I was milling around the internet that I dreamed about meeting these very people face to face and hear stories about the days of cyber elf war from them firsthand. Now, not only was that happening, but I was also getting to see a side of them that only a couple of senses even acknowledged existed. This was playing out to be the best week of my life. Anyway, Miss Fair said, let me see your leg. Another surprise. I was glad I wasn't dragging anything, because her saying that made me choke on pure air for a second. I looked at Mom and Dad. Mom looked as confused as I was, and Dad just kinda shrugged. Don't give me those looks. I've known something was wrong with it ever since I got here. You shit your left arm too much for someone trying to get comfortable. With that, I gave out a soft sign unfolding my legs from underneath me. I was a little uncomfortable with the idea that my teacher, and as I recently learned, one of my heroes checking my leg to see what was wrong with it. Mom and Dad watched as she knelt in front of me and took hold of said leg. She murmured to herself a little as she felt around on it. The awkwardness of someone holding my leg without me being able to feel it was something I was sure I'd never get over. Before I knew it, she slid a finger over a patch of skin that hit the surface panel. The sensor tripped, and the panel was uncovered. It surprised Miss Fair a bit. Without her asking, I put in the panel's access code, and we both watched as they slid away and revealed all the mechanics inside. The problem was pretty apparent once we were able to look inside. The coolant hose that I had patched up a couple of days before had opened up again, and a lot of the parts inside were covered in ice and cool liquid. Well, there's your problem, she said helpfully. She didn't reach in and started carefully loosening the ice inside. She took the ice out and used her finger to wipe away whatever coolant had frozen over. At first, I was worried about her getting coolant on her finger, but then I remembered that she was a Reploid and probably wasn't worried about skin irritation. It was also kind of impressive at how carefully, yet easily she was taking the ice off. I would have thought chipping any of it off would have probably broken off bits of the leg too, but somehow she was able to separate the two without so much as a scratch on anything. I'd have to ask how she did that later, knowing that might come in handy later if I kept freezing up. Once she was done, I closed the panel and she stood up, moving to take her seat back in the recliner. So, now that you know who I am and that everything you've seen and heard is true, is there anything you want to ask about? Almost nothing is off limits with me. But there's plenty that's off limits with us, Dad said. I wasn't looking because I was concentrating on getting Penny back on my leg, but considering how far he said that I was swinging the bed, he was at least frowning at our guest. I thought about it for a minute. It was an interesting question. Sure, there was plenty I could have asked about. Battles for and against my parents I could hear. Stories and guesses she might have heard from the resistance soldiers. Some of those things were probably parent banned. But one thing stuck out in my mind. If I was going to learn more about my family, I could learn about the people around them too. What was your brother like? I asked. This was a point of interest for me. There wasn't near as much information on the internet as anyone else. It makes sense, considering the whole ninja thing. There's no way better to ask about a person than their family members. Phantom? She looked straight for some thought for a minute. Mom and Dad looked a little nervous. That made me curious. Why would she need to think about what to say when it came to her own family member? Well, all I can really say was that he was the one who founded the Striking Shadow Ninja Clan. Oh, that was a little disappointing. I already knew about that. According to the internet, Hidden Phantom had formed the clan during the Cyber Rap Wars. While he was working under Copy X, Phantom was the leader of one of the elite forces. He, as well as the Grapple Lieutenant's command, were masters of stealth. They could gather information in ways that were never revealed to the public, or would carry a message without anybody knowing that they were even around. They were called the Striking Shadow Division, which is where the clan's name came from. It's said that the clan adopted the name after Phantom's defection from the Arcadian military to resist its army to prove to the world that things would change. They restored the honor they lost before in tests of Copy X by working to help make New Arcadia, and parts that were affected by the wars, a better place. I didn't need the internet to tell me that. My best friends were their students, after all. Miss Mary smiled at me and lightly patted me on the head. Don't worry about it, Iris. Phantom may keep to himself these days, but chances are that he knows about you one way or another. You do well enough at this method kind of business, and I'm sure you'll get a chance to ask him all the questions you want. I smiled at the idea. My parents are 2 members of the Resistance Army, while my third is teacher's a third. Getting a chance to know a fourth, I had to admit, would have been really cool. At the time, I didn't think about how this was going to sound like the setup of a writer who couldn't come up with an original concept for a story. Well, Mom said. While I was thinking, she turned to look at a clock on the walls. It is getting kind of late. We've all had something of an exciting day, for any given definition of the word, and it's probably time we all start winding our days down. Are you kidding me? The father asked. This is the most exciting thing I've done all day. Do you have any idea how draining it is to be a teacher? Even after all these years, I'm still mentally exhausted every time I shut down for the night. Heck, some days I'd rather be testing today's security programs rather than teaching. That confused me for a second. What's so tiring about being a teacher anyway? Good question. Whoops, yet again. Thankfully, father didn't seem too upset with the question. Well, there's the things you hear about. Creating a large amount of work takes more time than people think. Sometimes I have long nights because of everything I go through. Then there's the fact that I have to be at the school earlier than you kids to get ready for the day. There are the students that want to act like school is important, so they would rather be a nuisance for everyone around them. Actually teaching can be physically draining too, since I have to work around to make sure everyone's doing the work I'm assigning them. There's plenty for the weekend fans, other teachers who think that they're the cause about their coworkers or the students around them, making sure I'm up to date on all my certifications and having to study and test for the ones that are expiring soon and for ones that are new to me. Being a teacher, especially language arts teacher, takes a lot more mental and physical fortitude than people think. Jeez, if I'd known I'd hit a berserk point with her, I'd have never brought up teaching as a job. Mom stood up here. Dad, looking like he was taking a cue, stood with her, which is probably why it's best that we get ourselves up to rest as soon as possible. The father took a turn. I didn't join them. I was too worried about that hose in my leg. Thank you for coming, Levy. Levy? Now, I knew that Levy was the name the father used when she was disguised, but there was something in the way Mom said it. It was like she'd been using the name for a long time. Like a sense of familiarity or something. Absolutely, the father answered. She had a smile that seemed a lot friendlier than any other she'd had throughout the night. I'm glad I was able to come by and visit. Thank you for inviting me over. We should do this again sometime. That would be nice, as long as you remember my husband's off-limits. The two giggled a bit. That was an image I never thought I'd have firsthand. Even with the way Mom and Level were acting toward each other through the night, it was nice to see that they got along. Kinda made me wonder if they were always like that with each other. Oh well, that was probably a question for another day. The father then turned to me. I want you to know that I'm proud that you're doing what you're doing. Don't be discouraged by the way things have been going for you. Even your dad here has struggled with things constantly went wrong. Dad chuckled a bit at that. Just keep in mind that even when it seems like the situation can do nothing but get worse, there's always a way to turn things around in your favor. I smiled a bit at that. It felt like I needed to hear that. I started feeling better about myself. She had a point. These last couple of fights didn't go the way I wanted, but that was fine. Maybe there was a way I could learn from them. I just started as a Maverick Hunter without any real training after all. I couldn't really have expected to be good right away, could I? Even the things that were prone into my armor to help me weren't there to help me an instant hero. No, I need to start working on getting better whenever I had the chance, and not beat myself up when things went south again. Mom and Dad walked the fight in the door, three giving trading goodbyes. It's fair, as I figured I'd call it when we were not talking about being 100 things, over me when she walked out the door. I waved, her words still bouncing around in my head. Once the door was closed, Dad went to the kitchen while Mom sat back on the sofa. So, did that help you? I nodded. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, we're sorry, Dad said. He'd come back with a can of tank soda in his hand. We shouldn't have kept things the same from you like this. It's alright. I'm pretty sure you two had a good reason for that. Probably because of my thinking out loud habit. I stood up carefully. I'm going to go up to my room. I might be able to patch my leg up. After that, I'm probably going to get to bed. We'll schedule an appointment to get it probably prepared tomorrow. Hey, you think it'd be okay to go by myself tomorrow? Mom and Dad looked at each other. I could see the worry between them. Don't worry, I want to stay over for a little bit. Check in on Ibuki and... I shrugged off. Kinda dawned on me what they were worried about. It'll just be for a while. Yeah, I think it'll be okay, Dad said. Mom nodded beside him. I'll go with you for your leg. After that, just give us a call when you're ready to go. Okay, night. I walked up to my room, trying not to let my leg thump around. I was trying to get a little feeling back, but it wasn't enough to have full control for my walking strength. Once I made it, I plopped myself down on my bed and looked for my personal repair kit. It took a few minutes once I found it to seal the holes, wipe off a little more coolant, and make sure there was enough left for the leg to work alright. After that, I got myself ready for bed. Mom was right. Today was a really exhausting day. Hopefully, they'd be able to give me an early appointment for the fix. I wanted plenty of time to spend at the hospital. As I was laying down and dozing off for the night, I thought about what I wanted to do tomorrow. Ibuki won't be the only person I was going to check in on.